For my first experience with Airbnb, I found a actual bed and breakfast in Natchez, Mississippi. I charged my motorcycle in the shed right there, so I just had the cord and snaked it on through into the door. And also found three other bikers, but we noticed there are only two bikes here. Unfortunately, one of them had an accident. Fortunately, he walked away from it, so now I am off to Tupelo, Mississippi. Here we go. At the south entrance of the Natchez Trace Parkway, I have ridden the northern 50 miles of the Natchez Trace Parkway several times from Nashville, but now I'm in Natchez, Mississippi, heading north. And now it is time to live out a goal and ride the entire Natchez Trace Parkway from Natchez, Mississippi to Nashville, Tennessee, ending up at the Loveless Cafe. Heyo! Just pulled over to check my map, and it's so peaceful and quiet. There's a van that just passed me right there for the third time. They keep stopping and I'm just going slow and steady, so they keep passing me after they stop every time. It's great. Well, I did it again. I'm traveling on Sunday. The Nissan dealership that I wanted to charge at is all locked up. They have a gate with a padlock on it, and it's surrounded by a fence. However, the fence has a little section that's open, and since I'm on a motorcycle, I'm able to go through that. There isn't really any place else to charge. I basically felt like I had to charge, so I went on the property, plugged in, and now I'm heading to lunch. I don't feel real good about that, but this is one of the challenges of charging. They're just not available 24/7 at all locations. In some places, there just isn't charging available on Sunday. Today is a bit of a stressful day. Going up the Natchez Trace Parkway is beautiful, and the riding is fine. I've had to stretch my range a little bit, so I can't go quite as fast as I want to, but that's no big deal. It's Sunday. It's Sunday, so Sunday charging is difficult. They were closed and they have a fence. There was a place where the fence was not all the way through, and so I was able to get through and charge. That's not really how I want to charge. Ideally, electric vehicles will be able to just go places and charge where they need to and then continue moving on, but that's just not the case yet. I called ahead to some RV campsites. One of them was fine with it. The other one is a state park, and the person who answered the phone has no power to make any decisions. And this is very frustrating, talking to the lowest person on the totem pole, because they will often be very afraid of their superiors, and they can't make any judgment calls. Certain he didn't technically say no, so I came here planning on going into the office and having a chat with him or whoever happened to be there, hopefully a manager. Couldn't find the office, or I found an office, but I couldn't find a person to talk to. So I went around the campsites, found an open spot, and now I'm charging. I'm charging in a spot where I can keep an eye on it, so if anyone walks by and thinks something's funny, then I can go. But 2 illicit charging stops so far. Dun, dun, dun. This is really not how I want to travel, but it's kind of how I have to travel right now. The next charging stop I know will be okay, and then after that I'll be in Tupelo at my place of rest. So it gets easier from here, but it's kind of dicey so far. Found a dock in the shade at Lake Choctaw in Mississippi. This is my happy place. Most of the time when I charge my motorcycle, whip out my computer, plug everything in, charge all the batteries, the motorcycle battery, the phone battery, the computer battery, and the camera battery, and then find Wi-Fi and communicate and edit video. Here at Lake Choctaw, there's none of that. There's just toes in the water. Woo! One of the questions I've received is how much does this trip cost? I'm staying with friends most of the time. It has cost me so far between $20 and $30 to charge for 4,500 miles. Would cost $250 in gas approximately to ride a motorcycle that far, including hotels for 2 weeks plus a couple of days. It's cost me under $200 so far in the trip to travel 4,500 miles. Another person asked about charging times. Basically, if I use all of my charge, then it takes me an hour and a half to charge. If I only travel 60 miles, it only takes an hour to charge. So basically, it takes 1 minute to charge and get me 1 mile of range. So if I ride 90 miles, then it takes 90 minutes to charge. If I ride 60 miles, it takes 60 minutes to charge. Which means, if I ride 350 miles, now remember, the first 100 miles are free. So, if I ride 350 miles, then I need 250 minutes of charging. What kind of gear do I use on a trip like this? Protective jacket. This has pads in the elbows and shoulders in case I take some sort of fall, and it's mesh, which is super sweet. But when it rains, I put on this outer layer, which is waterproof. Then, as far as staying dry, pants, just the thinnest, lightest, cheapest overpants that I can find. And then the infamous gloves, the cheapest gloves I could find on motorcycle.com, 20 bucks. They have a strap right there, and you can see that there's a hole in the gloves, and that's where I get my amazing tan line from. What? You see that? That's right, you're jealous. You're not jealous, you're laughing at me. I wear riding sneakers. These are Tourmaster riding sneakers. These are lighter and easier to walk in than the other boots that I tried on, so I really like them. Also, the jacket is Tourmaster. And the most important piece of protective gear, the helmet. I have this Arai helmet. Arai is known as one of the best, most safe helmets in the business. This also fits my head specifically. Rob Lefevre, great guy in Allentown, PA, fitted this helmet to my noggin, measured my noggin, got me this sweet design. Dragons. It has all sorts of great vents and keep me cool. The video that you see me make, this one right here is on my iPhone. It's about this big. You've probably seen an iPhone before. Also, I have a chesty mount for my GoPro camera. This is the case. The camera is charging right now. When you see riding videos, it's right here. Sometimes I'll just sweep it around so you can get a better view. And then I have my computer, MacBook Air. That allows me to process and make video and send emails and all sorts of stuff as long as I have Wi-Fi. But no Wi-Fi when you're in a beautiful park like Choctaw Lake. Yep. Be quiet. I'm Ben. Hey, Ben. Good to meet you.